Get your word, get your word. I'm only going to have you to stand for one verse, but we're going to cover a little bit. Familiar text for some. Nevertheless, if you would allow me a little room to elaborate and expound. Are you ready for a word? Genesis chapter 3, verse 6. So when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree desirable to make one wise, she took of its fruit and ate. She also gave to her husband with her. Hold on, wait a minute. With her, and he ate. Y'all can take y'all seats. I've been hearing this question asked. Where was he? He was with her. Where was Adam? He was with her. You want to blame her, and you was with her. What happens when the fallout is our fault? Hello, Adam. Listen close. What we don't express or exercise in certain moments will speak to its outcome. I said what we don't say will speak. I said what we don't say will speak. That's interesting. Catch the lesson. Instruction accommodates evaluation. Instruction accommodates evaluation. By definition, instruction is direction or order. So when you receive instruction, and when we hear instruction, we are hearing direction and we are hearing order. So when God spoke to them in chapter 2, it wasn't just instruction, it was direction. It wasn't just direction, it was an order. The purpose of instruction is to aid learning and build knowledge. Say aid learning, build knowledge. But the purpose also has an objective. The objective is practical application. Nothing that we're taught is not intended for some type of practical application. When you teach your children their ABCs, it's not just so that they can recite their ABCs, it's also so they can learn how it sounds, how each and every letter sounds, the sequence of each and every letter. And then when you start getting a little deeper, you start teaching them that this sound is a vowel, and in order to make any kind of sound, you need a vowel. A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes why are we doing the stuff that we're doing? When we've received instruction. Say they received instruction. Say they received direction. Say they received order. Here's the issue. Knowledge of the word is only as useful as we use it. I said knowledge of the word, I heard you, mama. Knowledge of the word is only as useful as we use it. I could get up here and perfectly expound and give you every breakdown and scenario that there is, but if we don't use it, this has to go beyond your amen. This has to go beyond so let it be. This has to become so let it become. Oh, Lord, help me. I said it has to go beyond so let it be to so let it become a part of me, imparted into me, instilled into me for me to implement. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So the most cunning beast at the top of the chapter starts a dialogue with Eve. Lord, help my soul. I said he starts a dialogue with Eve. At his inquisition, Eve correctly correlates God's instruction. She gives the devil God's instructions. Father, help me. I said she gives the enemy, Satan, Lucifer, that old serpent, that old knock-kneed, slew-footed, that's a lie because he's beautiful. The word says so. You ain't got to like it. Right? The most cunning beast. He starts this dialogue with Eve, and then she correctly correlates God's instruction. She gives it to him like she got it. The do's and the don'ts. The devil then suggests a false interpretation. Boy. Under the guise of wisdom, if I can bring back something that I mentioned last week, the devil uses natural desires to cause spiritual disasters. Is there anything evil in desiring wisdom? But there is if you're trying to get it through the window. Because he comes at the door. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Yeah. The thief don't come in the door. Anywho, because it's interesting because he's trying to sell you something while stealing from you at the same time. He's a hustler. Are you hearing what I'm saying? He's a swindler. Do you hear what I'm saying? He's a deceiver. Do you hear what I'm saying? He's a liar. Do you hear what I'm saying? He can't tell never mind. The text tells us she took of its fruit and ate. She also gave to her husband with her. Say he was right there. He was right there. And he ate. Just to put this into the context of where I'm trying to bring us, verse 9 through 12, God asks Adam 3 rhetorical questions. He says, where are you? Who told you? Where are you? Who told you? Have you eaten? Now, if you look at the common denominator in each of those questions, you. The common denominator in each of those questions, none of these questions involved Eve. I know who you say got you into trouble. But see, you can't avoid you being in the equation. Because though God does address Eve, also he addressed you first. Oh, you understand what I'm saying? Oh, boy. Watch the third question. He says, have you eaten from the tree of which I commanded you that you should not? I commanded you. I told you it was order. I told you it was distraction. I commanded you. Command is an order. I commanded you that you should not eat. Adam's response, the woman. Now, I done said you, every question I asked, you. And your response was not I. was not me, was not myself, it was the woman. And if you watch how slick Adam tries to be, Adam doesn't just say the woman, he says the woman you gave me. I'm sorry, let me just walk the text real quick. Because sometimes we're upset with what we did with what God gave us. You upset with what God gave you because of what you did with it. Watch this, what you allowed it to do to you. Oh, boy. Can I take my time? Are you hear what I'm saying? The woman gave it to me, and I ate. But before he gets to himself, he says, the woman, you. He don't put two people in front of himself. I don't think y'all understand what I said. He don't put two people in front of himself. So before we want to deal with ourselves, we want to put everybody else in the front of the line. We want to deal with us last. I'm trying to give you the text. We don't want to deal with us first. We want to deal with us last. What you talking about? The text. Take it up with the text. We don't want to deal with us first. We want to deal with where are you? I hid myself. Okay. Who told you you were naked? He don't even wait for a response. What? Did you eat? Have you eaten? Or what I commanded you? You can see where God puts the importance on, don't it? Because he says, where were you? Adam gave this explanation. He said, who told you was naked? You know, forget all that. Didn't I tell you? You've been walking with me in the cool of the day, and now you hiding. Who told you you were naked? I don't want to get stuck there because I can get right there and just hit in that pocket. But who told you you was naked? Who have you been having that amount of dialogue with? To deceive you, to do what you've done. Adam. Just so everybody know who I'm dealing with. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Because y'all was tripping on that first part. She, right? No. I want you to know who the problem is. She ain't the problem. It's you. Some of y'all gonna catch that twice. She ain't the problem. Watch this. He ain't the problem. It's you. Because you know they try to blame the devil too. But it ain't his problem. It ain't her problem. It's you. It's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of mercy, in the need of forgiveness. Are you hearing what I'm saying? But it's us. It's us. And so, here's the thing. Just because we are with them doesn't mean we can just go with them. You better hear that again. Just because we are with them doesn't mean we have to go with them. Just because I was looking for you today. Sandra, come here real quick. Just because I'm with them, doesn't mean that I have to go with them. Now, Sandra, my good friend Sandra, is up here with me right now. But Sandra, because I don't want you to play the bad person, I'm going to play the bad person. So you're going to be right today. So nobody going to look at you sideways. They're going to look at me today, all right? Because we always get the example to play the bad. No, I'm going to be the bad guy, all right? So what I need you to do is receive the word of the Lord. Now, we came up here together, right? Matter of fact, let's go down the stairs together. We got to walk it all the way through. Because we got to get here together. Now, watch this here. Turn. Work with me. We got here together. We got here together. We showed it. We got here together. Now, the word of the Lord says, stay put. Now, why didn't she move? But didn't we come here together? Shouldn't we be together? Shouldn't we lead together? We came here together. Shouldn't we lead together? But The word of the Lord says, stay put. Come on, Sandra. Come on, Sandra. Come on, Sandra. But Sandra, I heard a word. Sandra, I heard a word. Sandra, I heard a word. Thank you. Are you hearing what I'm saying? You want to blame somebody from taking you somewhere just because you got there with them. Look, I might have came here with you, but I ain't got to go where you going. Just because we started together don't mean we going to finish together. I ain't got to go. Watch this. We ain't so close that I got to follow you everywhere you go. When I heard the qualifications, it was deny yourself, pick up your cross, and follow me, not you. If you was following me, you should have been following me as I follow Christ. The moment I stopped following Christ, what you should have, never mind. Here's why. You have the instructions. Say, I have the same instructions. Here's another fallacy when this is taught. People say that Adam received the word first, and he did. Watch this. Eve received the word also, because she just gave it back to the devil. But watch this. Don't give the word back to the devil and then change your mind. She knew what God said. You can't tell me she don't know what. Go ahead, check chapter 2, write them out, verse 16, 17. She knew what God said. She added a little something to it. She said, don't touch it. She said, don't touch it. She put a little sauce on it. Watch. You done added stuff that would have helped you. Right? Because she said, the Bible doesn't say God said anything about touching. He says don't eat. She said, God said, don't touch. Watch this. That would have been a one time the ice of Jesus would have worked for you if you would have just followed it. You threw your own thing in there and you still, never mind. I'm just, are you hearing what I'm saying? There's an adage that communication is key. Y'all heard about that? Communication is key. With that, dialogue is crucial. You better know the difference. I said communication is key, but dialogue is crucial. Listen to this. There's dialogue. This blew my mind. There's dialogue between the serpent and Eve concerning what God said. There's dialogue. He's talking. Say there's dialogue. The question is, where's the dialogue between Adam and Eve? I'm studying and my mind is wearing me out, and it ain't like Adam can't talk. Watch this. It's not as if Adam has nothing to say. But there's no dialogue concerning what God said. And even if there was, it ain't in the text, and even if there was, it didn't matter because they didn't abide by it. But we're not going to insert anything that ain't there. Because where the Bible is silence, there silence is. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Oh, Lord. Are you hearing what I'm saying so far? Get this. The absence of dialogue is an opening for misinterpretation. The absence, I'm trying to teach something today. I said the absence of dialogue is an opening for misinterpretation. Since dialogue paved the road to consideration, did it not? Dialogue paved the road to consideration. We agree? Couldn't it have paved the road to reconsideration? Couldn't it have paved the road to resistance? Couldn't it have paved the road to refusal. Do you see? Because maybe some of y'all didn't hear what Sandra was saying when I was tugging on her. But she said, mm-mm. She didn't even say a word. She said, mm-mm. She just made a sound of rejection. She said, mm-mm. And sometimes when you ain't got a no in your spirit, you need a mm-mm. Oh, God, she was preaching. She didn't even know say mm-mm. 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 You don't even want to know. Mm-mm. No, because one is only one syllable. I need you to hear two. Mm-mm. And so when I was pulling on her, she said, mm-mm. Now, I wasn't trying to use all my strength for the sake of for the instruction, but I pulled on her enough to where if she wouldn't have gave me some resistance, I would have pulled her in my direction. I said if she didn't give me some resistance, I would have pulled her in my direction. And what happens is we don't give the devil in resistance, and we just go in his direction. And if you went with his direction, then you was following his instructions. Y'all didn't hear what I said. And if you went with his direction, that means you were under his orders. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Let's go further. The absence of correction is conducive for carnality. The absence of correction is conducive for carnality. Are you? To be clear, I don't want to propose what could have been said, more than emphasize that while he was with her, nothing was said. Nothing was said. There was communication in the offer and acceptance of the fruit. See, that's why communication is key, but dialogue is crucial. Because there was a communication. If I hand something to you and you reach out to receive it, we had an understanding. Say, we have an agreement. If I hand you something that you don't want, what will you do? Either you will make a non-verbal gesture, you will say, or you will preach like Sandy and say, mm-mm, mm-mm. Say, no, mm-mm, no, we ain't going with that, we ain't going with that, we ain't going for that. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So there was communication in the offer and the acceptance. However, somebody say, however, nothing was said. Watch this one. I want to say this one. Silence is not always consent. Silence is not always consent. The truth is, consent is evident by its conduct. Because on a side note, sometimes silence is necessary. It's strategic in warfare. Sometimes God will tell you to be quiet, and you had best. Now that consent is what you need. That consent, but being quiet does not mean that I'm consenting to whatever other people say about me, though it's not true. Because watch this, when they was talking about Jesus, he kept, because you remember when he opened up his mouth and he said, I am, them people fell back like dead men. So sometimes you need to be quiet. Silence isn't always consent, right? But the truth is consent is evident by its conduct. Are you hearing what I'm saying? The truth is consent has permission and it's participatory, which means it's got a part to play in this. Bottom line, consent is agreement. Consent is agreement. And so here's the warning. Here's the warning. Consent without wise counsel is a deadly practice. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Consent without two-way communication, otherwise known as dialogue, implies acceptance. I work in the communication field, and we work with radios. And the thing about radios is it's two-way communication. But the way radios work is sometimes the way I wish that conversations would work. You talk, then I talk. Not you talk over me, not I talk over you. You talk, then I talk. You talk, I talk. You talk, it's an exchange. It's not a competition. We done made conversations into competitions. I can't stand watching these shows. You done brought a guest on to get their opinion, and then you give their opinion to them. Well, just go ahead, just say what you're going to say. Don't invite me on your show to talk for me. I can talk for myself. Thank you. I don't need you to put words in my mouth. Thank God he gave me a voice to speak on my own, and we bless him. But the thing about two-way communication is this, is that if it's not two-way, then that means it's one way. It's not dialogue, it's monologue. It's one way, which means one side may be able to transmit, and one side may be able to hear, but the other side isn't able to communicate, isn't able to transmit, isn't able to hear. This is why dialogue is crucial. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Here's the thing, two-way communication, dialogue, without the dialogue, without the two-way communication, it can and does accommodate a few things. I'm going to give you two. One thing is assumption. The other thing is accusation. I can tell you what happened in this scenario. Accusation. Somebody say blame. Listen real good. Individual responsibility cannot be outsourced. See, we're in this country where we don't want to actually build anything, so we outsource everything. You know, we outsource everything so it can be cheap. That's why most of your stuff says made somewhere else but here. We want to outsource it so that it's cheaper. Because we don't really want to pay the price. Y'all ain't hear what I'm saying. I said we don't really want to pay the price, and that's what blame tries to do. Blame doesn't want to pay. It doesn't want to pay the full price. It wants a discounted price. It wants free. Yeah, that's what blame really wants to be free. Y'all ain't hearing what I said. Blame really wants to be free because it doesn't want to have to pay for anything. Because the cost of accountability is heavy. When you realize that, hold on, I actually have a part to play in this. I'm actually, oh Lord, help me, America. I'm actually responsible for my actions. No. Not her. You. Well, God didn't start dealing with she before he started dealing with you. God didn't start dealing with the devil before he started dealing with you. And we want God to deal with the devil, but we don't want him to deal with. Keep the enemy off me. Could you just listen to what I said first? I rebuke the enemy. Can you receive the Lord first? Because Michael couldn't straight up rebuke the devil. What you think you doing? Michael is an archangel. I know you're an archbishop, but he was an archangel. And he said, Satan, the Lord rebuke you. You ain't got enough power to rebuke. Oh, never mind. Let me go back over here before I offend folk. An archangel said the Lord. You an arch pew sitter talking about some out. Come on, get out of. Let me calm down. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Oh, Lord. It can't be outsourced. Blame doesn't relinquish individual responsibility in any situation, nor does it cancel the aftermath of individual consequences. Are you hearing what I'm saying? We think when we blame somebody else, watch this, even when they did have something to do with it. She had something to do with it. But we ain't talking about her. We talking about you. Because before the Lord started dealing with the devil, before he started dealing with Eve, he started talking about Adam. I'm talking about Adam and you and us. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Oh, Lord, I don't like this kind of teaching. I know. And therein is the problem. Therein is the problem. Make no mistake, we are, and I hope that y'all hear this, we are responsible for our intake. The problem had only grown worse by the time they had intake the fruit. It had only grown worse because the first thing they started doing was intake the instruction. Because before they could consume the fruit, they had consumed the instruction already. Because whatever you consume becomes a part of you. It affects your function. See, the instruction was in their system well before the fruit ever got there. And it wasn't that they heard the instruction. It was the adherence. It's not enough for us to just hear the word. We must be adherent to the word. A lot of us are hearers to the word. We pray that prayer a lot, right? Help us to not just be hearers of the word, but doers of the same. Why? Because just hearing the word ain't going to be enough. Say they heard the word. Say from the source. And still missed it. They heard the word from the source and they still missed it. They heard from God himself and they still missed it. See, some of us can't hear because we're easily distracted. See how that worked? You heard something else. And what happened? You stopped paying attention. I'm just talking about what I'm talking about. You heard something else. I'm talking about what I'm talking about. I ain't setting that up. It's just there. Watch this. We heard something else. And what happened? You lost your attention. And this is exactly how the enemy gets us. God is trying to tell us something. And the enemy is trying to tell us something else. You know else is a four-letter word. But what do we do? Instead of going with God, we go with something else. Well, that's distracting me. Cut it off. Stop listening to it. They always talk about me. Stop listening. They always got something to say. Stop listening. People always want to use me. Stop letting them. I just can't say no. Come to the altar. No, you ain't hear what I said. I just can't say. Man, are you hearing what I'm saying? And this is our problem. I don't want to rush it. But this is our problem. We just can't say, No, no. No! Are you hearing what I'm saying? Oh, Lord. We got to understand that we're responsible for our intake. Can I give you a couple lines? Watch this. Instructional. We're responsible for that. Spiritual. We're responsible for that. Natural. We're responsible for that. Nutritional. We're responsible for that. Medicinal. We're responsible for that. Sensual. Oh, yeah, we're responsible for that. Illegal. We're responsible for that. You know what their intake was? Illegal. Illegal. They put what was illegal into their body. Oh, before they ever ate the fruit. They consumed it before they ever ate the fruit. How can you prove that? Because they ate the fruit. Because quiet as it kept, sin is a process. Watch, watch. First there's observation. Then there's consideration. Then there's operation. You got to go through all them steps before you sin. You got to see it. You got to think about it. Then you actually got to do it. Now, it can happen rapidly, but you're going to touch all three. So I don't know how I got here. Yeah, you do. What if I told you you saw it coming? What if I told you you saw it coming and you didn't swerve anyway? Some of us just seen how far we can go. Here's the thing. Do not mistake invention for instruction. Are you hearing what I'm saying? I'm going to break it down. I say, do not mistake invention for instruction, though invention can come from instruction. Don't mistake invention for instruction. Do understand the devil invented and embodies false doctrine. The devil started false doctrine in heaven. He was able to deceive angels who were in the presence of God. Hold on, wait a minute. He was also able to deceive man who was in the presence of God. So watch this. Don't think just because you're in the presence of God that you can't be deceived. Does the text not say they would walk with God? They said they hid themselves. Do you know that God was there while they was having a conversation with the devil? Never mind. You don't think God was there while they was having a conversation? You ever watch your child do something you told him not to do? You sit there like, you don't even. This is the one right here. You better not. You better not. And then it already went through with it. You know you've given them the instruction. You know you've told them the dangers of it. You've told them what would happen if they do it. The Lord said, the day you do it, you'll die. You'll surely die. And what does the devil? The devil just adds one little word to it. He says, won't. You won't. You know he uses them S's too. Surely. That's why he had to say it. He stuck that one out. Surely die. I don't know if that's how he said it. I'm just saying. He said surely, though. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So he invented false doctrine. Watch this. These people that's kicking false doctrine, they ain't doing nothing new. They ain't doing nothing new. Don't miss this. Don't miss this. This is crucial right here. Every communication from Satan is an invitation to disobedience. Every communication from Satan is an invitation to disobedience. Don't take it. Don't take it. Don't take it. Don't take it. Look at somebody and say, don't go there. Don't go there. Don't go there. Watch this. He's going to give you the invitation. He's going to give you the invitation, but you don't have to show up. But you know, some of us, because we just can't say no. You get that invitation. I'm going to just see how it's going to be. You know, if I just see what's going on, maybe I'll be wiser than I was before. Maybe I can have a new experience. I'm sorry. I'm one of the people, I don't need to see what everything is like. I really don't. I'm not that curious. I'm really not. If something look off to me, I, watch this. If it look off to me and I'm wrong, I'm still glad I ain't go. Because if the Lord didn't say go, I don't need to be there. If the Lord didn't tell me, I don't need to know. But our problem in our society, we think we know it alls and we want to be know it alls. Right? So intellectual. It's so dumb. You hear what I'm saying? I ain't calling nobody dumb. I'm just saying, if you got instructions and you don't follow it, you might have some problems. No, you hear what I'm saying? Uh, we must understand collaboration comes with accountability. Collaboration comes with accountability. It doesn't matter what kind of partnership you find yourself in. That is a collaboration. Doesn't matter whether it's marriage, doesn't matter whether it's friendship, doesn't matter whether it's partnership, doesn't matter whether it's fellowship, any of them jokers. Any of them. Collaboration comes with accountability. I want you to think about this real quick. Literally, it's compound interest. Thank you. It's compound interest. Because here's the lesson. Nothing Adam said about Eve's involvement altered his individual consequences. This woman you gave me didn't change how God was going to deal with him. And I'm here to tell everybody, no matter what they did, it ain't going to change what God does. Because God is going to deal with me for the dialogue I didn't have. God is going to deal with me for everything I thought I was eating that really was devouring me. God is going to deal with me because some of us think that we need other information. Other information, and then not only do you go get the other information, but then you start subscribing to the other information. Well, I just want to know. Okay, you be careful. You're responsible for your intake. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Because some of us have heard some things we wish we would have never heard. And some of us have heard some things we wish we would have never subscribed to. Because you can't help everything you hear. You can help everything you adhere to. And that's the part we don't want to admit. No. I heard the word too. I heard it from the source. And I still did it. God told me not to. And I still did. Pastor told me not to. And I still did. Spouse told me not to. And I still did. But it's this person you gave me. The pastor done gave you some faulty doctrine and then you subscribe to it. And here's the thing, this is what we do in church. Well, pastor said, watch this, God's going to deal with the pastor, but he's going to deal with you first. Oh, we don't like that. If I give you a wrong word, he's going to deal with me. But he's going to deal with you first. I'm just talking about his protocol. So watch this, blaming pastor ain't going to help you no more. It never did. Watch this. Blaming them ain't going to help you. It never did. Because we are still going to have to deal with what we subscribe to. Because watch this. In Adam's seat, all he could have said, well, I was just with her. But that wasn't it, was it? You weren't just with her. You ate too, didn't you? You touched it too, didn't you? So wait a minute, you looked at it, you considered it, and you ate. You didn't have to say nothing, but you done went through all them steps to get to where you are. Watch this. I know you love them. You can't take everything they give you. I said, I know you love them. You can't take everything they give you. I know you've been with them for a long time now. I know God made them for you, but you can't take everything. You can't take everything they give you. But God gave them to me. I'm just trying to give you the word. Do what you want to do. You grown anyway. You know everything anyway. You got it all figured out anyway. Follow me? Because furthermore, nothing Eve said of the serpent altered her individual consequences. Because Adam, because blame has a domino effect. Right? It's got a chain. Blaming has a chain reaction. Oh, God. I said blaming has a chain reaction, and it's trying to lock up everybody except you. But Adam, he talking to me? Yeah, I'm talking to you. So Adam blamed Eve. He said, not me. It was the devil. The devil ain't make you do nothing. The devil made me do it. The devil didn't pick the fruit, did he? Watch this. The devil didn't touch the fruit. You did. The devil didn't taste the fruit. You did. The devil didn't eat the fruit. You did. The devil didn't ingest the fruit. You did. The devil didn't digest the fruit. You did. And I don't want to go too far outside, but you got to understand what you put into your body exponentially affects your seed. They went from greed to murder. First sin, greed. Next sin, murder. Which is an extension of greed, because he couldn't have what Abel had, so he thought he would eliminate him. Where did he get the idea of killing from? Let me just put this out here real quick. Where did he get the idea of killing from? He only worked the field. So he had to get the concept of killing either from Adam or from Abel himself, because for Abel to bring his offering, he had to kill the sheep. Abel was a shepherd. How did Cain even know how to kill? Envying his brother too much? Perhaps. Let me get back to the text. But where did he get it from? He got it from his daddy. It was it's still a generational proclivity. It's still a generational propensity to do what you want to do. Watch this. Disobedience is inherited. You mad at your children, just remember who they got it from. Never mind, let me come. Look back. We just come. You forgot how rebellious you was? I ain't gonna talk about you because you never did. Because you know what we said, I ain't never do that. I wonder, is that what Adam said when he found out Cain killed? I ain't never do that. Probably knowing Eve was like, but you did eat that fruit though, didn't you? That was for me. Y'all can throw that part away. Oh, you hear what I'm saying? Here's the key. Correction cannot go unsaid. Correction cannot go unsaid. No should have been said. No. No could have reset history. Could have changed the course of history, rather. No Watch this. You can still change your future if you would just learn how to say no. I don't think you understand how weighty that really. I said you can still change your future if you would just learn to say no in the face of the devil. You would change your future if you just knew to say no in the face of the devil, even when he's coming through your spouse, even when he's coming through your children, even when he's coming through your friend, even when he's coming through the preacher. I said no. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. Nope. Nope. You know how when you just feel something off, you just start having you start having dialogue with yourself. Nope. You don't take another step, you pivot. If we would learn how to, watch this, if we would learn how to pivot, we wouldn't have to do so much repentance. Watch that. Watch this. It looked good. Nope. It might make me wiser. Nope. No should have been said. We know it wasn't. Don't should have been said. Don't do that. Right? Because watch this. Eve could have said no. Eve could have said don't. Adam could have said no. Adam could have said don't. No. What happened? Num, 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 num. Ate it up. Ate it up. And it ate them up. That's not what God said should have been said. You know what she said when she was up here? Unprovoked. When I told what I told Sandy, I said God said in the illustration. I said God said stand put, and then I move and then I begin to drag her unprovoked. She said that's not what God. Y'all ain't hear what I just said. I said, she said, that's not what God said. I wonder, instead of taking everything that everybody says, we could be like, that ain't what God said. I heard what you said, but that ain't what God said. I know you said that would happen, and you gave me a word. I know you said I could cast myself off the top of this pinnacle, and if I do, that the angels will come and save me unless I dash my foot against a stone. But that's not what God said. Watch this. I know that's what Psalms 91 says, but that ain't what God. Oh, God, y'all ain't catching that. I know that's what Psalm 91 says. Y'all got to hear what I'm saying. That ain't what God said. Because God said you will not tempt the Lord your God. That's what God said. Do you understand what I'm saying? We have to stop allowing what the enemy says about the word of God to direct our steps. Order my steps in your words, not the rewording of the enemy, not in false doctrine, not in horrible interpretation. Are you hearing what I'm saying? That's not what God said, should have been said. We shouldn't fall from unnecessary silence in the possession of clear instructions. They fell from silence. Because watch this. Adam could have stopped it. He didn't. Why you keep addressing Adam? Because that's who God addressed. Watch this. It doesn't matter how we feel about what Eve did. Because God said sin came through Adam. That does not make Eve innocent. But it puts Adam at fault. And just so we're not mixed up in, the issue is you. What did God tell you? If you know what God told you, why are you letting anyone else change it. Because Eve knew what God said. My issue with Adam is, bro, you ain't gonna even give him a little word. You ain't gonna give Eve a little word. No, you won't have nothing to say until accountability comes. This can't go unsaid. Correction can't go unsaid. Watch this. This is why the Bible is so corrective, because he's like, look, this can't go unsaid. I've got to tell you these things. It doesn't matter what dispensation you live in, grace or otherwise, this can't go unsaid. We have to bring correction because God has given us instruction, which means he's given us direction and he's given us orders, and that's what we should follow. Give God a praise all over this place.